and welcome to ChangeCockpit Enduser Essentials edition for the first half of 2025. The goal of this edition is the most important changes in Microsoft 365, which already rolled out now in the first half of 2025. So you can get out most of the tools here and work more efficiently with tools in Microsoft 365. This is structured in the respective workloads like Teams, SharePoint Online, Loop. We have one for Loop, new Outlook app, the smartphone application, and Copilot. If you're watching this from a hosted stream session, then you should also see the chapters here, so you can jump around in the workloads which are most interesting to you. So let's start with the first one of Teams. In Teams, you already got the new chat and channels experience during the last month. So this chat and channels experience, the goal of it is bringing together the chats and all channels in one unified view. With the unified view, it's easier for you to switch between conversations, no matter if it's a chat, a group chat, or a channel conversation, without losing context. So no more or less clicks, easier switching. And so this reduces the time spent for you for navigating and improves your focus during multitasking. So you already got this one. You can also create your own sections in there and add your chats in different sections and so on. There were also various new settings. These settings are in Teams settings, which you can find in Teams chat and channel. So if you prefer the old experience, perhaps you want to switch back, you can do it in here, switch back from combined to separate, but you also have some other new settings which can help you showing only the relevant content to you, like you can remove the Copilot or you can remove the filter. So it's not that cluttered if you don't use it anyway, so your eyes don't have to search for the relevant information on the screen. Then now you can resize Teams windows and slots within Teams freely. This means you can scale Teams down to only a small window. So if you don't have such a large screen, but you would like to do, and you have only one screen and you would like to do multitasking on the screen, you can now push Teams or squeeze Teams together. So you can have other windows and tasks open at the same time, which allows you for better multitasking and comfort. Then the first channel name comes back as general. So that's Microsoft removed the possibility to have the first channel in a Teams called general, but we were all used to it, so this wasn't really a great change. Now you can rename all your channels back to channels, or if you create a new team, you can use general again, and it should now behave like before, meaning the general name is on top of the channels and not sorted by alphabetical. Then you also get this new mic volume indicator. Why is this a big change? So let's assume someone is coming some minutes late into the meeting. The first thing he does, hey, can you hear me? Yeah, so now he or she interrupted the whole conversation. So that's not really productive. So Microsoft introduced this new microphone indicator, meaning if you come into the meeting and you're unsure if the others can hear you, just click on the down arrow and then you see the indicator here. So you know Teams and therefore also all the others can hear you and you don't have to ask anymore. Then working in meetings, you can now pop out the chat, Copilot, and notes panes. Showing it for meeting chat, you'd have this arrow button. If you click on this, meeting chat will pop out. You can do the same for meeting notes and for the Copilot pane, meaning you have still the full real estate for the shared content. You can move these windows freely around if you have multiple monitors. So it's also for improving multitasking and your meeting productivity. Then you have the tag mentions filter. If you have many unread activities in Teams, and Teams essentially focuses, or it's quite important to mention other people in Teams so they know that you are requesting information or you're asking them something. So you mention these people, and you have now this mention filter pill in activities. So if you have many unread activities, missed activity notifications, just go in there, click on tag mention, and you see the most relevant unread activities at first. Then now you can record video and shared channels. This enables quick and personalized updates now, not only in Teams one-to-one and group messages, it's now also available in Teams channel posts. So sometimes it could be easier, instead of writing a message, just recording the message and adding it into the channel's post. If you're working with multiple languages, then Teams now got advanced spell checking. It was improved, and now you can also switch between up to three languages and add your own dictionary. So it's way easier and better for your spell checking habits when writing messages. Speaking about writing messages, you can now schedule the channel messages. This was available already for one-to-one chat messages. Now you can do the same for channel messages. So you can plan your communications in advance. You can ensure that important updates are delivered at the most effective time, even outside of working hours if needed. Then Viva Engage Storyline is integrated more closely into Teams. Till now, to access Storyline, you had to access Viva Engage. Now it's integrated into the chat. So in the chat, into one-to-one chat, additionally to chat and shared tab, now you have the storyline tab. So it's one click less, or at least you don't have to switch to the Viva Engage app to use storyline. This brings leadership communication and employee engagement closer to where your daily work happens, and most of the communications, except of email, is happening in Teams, chats, and channel messages. So it's easier there. Then voice and face enrollment was turned on by default to all tenants. This means for you, you can now enroll for a voice profile in Teams. If you haven't done so yet, just go to Team Setting using the three-dot menu, go to Recognition, and then to Voice Profile. Then you have the Set Up Profile button. Then you can read some text to Teams, so Teams can learn your voice signature or your voice profile. Inside of meetings, you will now get the voice isolation features once you rolled out or you enrolled your voice profile. Just click on the down arrow button and microphone, and you next to the background noise only, you can now switch on voice isolation. So let's say you are in a public space where many people are talking now. Teams can filter out your message, meaning it only sends or transmits your voice into the meeting and not all your colleagues as well. That's one or the main feature. And if you have Teams meetings rooms, you will also get better, or if you get speaker recognition in these Teams meetings rooms, and it's better meeting recaps and Copilot for meetings, AI meeting recaps when the transcript is more accurate. That's it for Teams. Then we have SharePoint Online, also some news. First of all, you will get, or you already got, flexible sections. By now, you had to decide for section structures like column and rows and so on inside SharePoint Online. Within flexible sections, you will get now this free canvas. So you have a white canvas part where you can freely and move around all the different web parts. You can see it here now. We have the text web part. Now add an image web part and add another image, and then move this image web part around wherever you would like inside this canvas. So it's quite like a blank piece of paper where you arrange your SharePoint Online elements. That's new and a great and easier way to design your SharePoint Online pages. Then you will also get the updated drag and drop experience. Till now, you created a column or a section in SharePoint Online, and then you added the respective web part to this section. Now you can just move the web part to a plus sign, and then the new section will be created by default. It will be a one column section, and the web part will be dropped in there. So that's way easier than first creating the section and then adding the web part. Editorial card web part is a new web part, and this web part is not an automated web part. Automated means, let's say you have a news and events web part, then this will show different contents depending on which user is visiting the SharePoint Online website or the SharePoint Online page. Now with the editorial web part, you can configure static content, which will be shown. All users will see the same content from this editorial web card. So it's easier to highlight your key content manually and curate important updates or announcements without relying on automated feeds anymore. Then the SharePoint creation as page creation or news creation assistance. This is depending on Copilot, works only for you if you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license. This speeds up the creation of SharePoint pages by using AI and Copilot to draft the content. To do this, you use the plus new menu. Let's have a look at that. Plus new page with Copilot. Then you give the prompt, create a new news post about ChangeCockpit, and Copilot will now create the whole news post for me in a private draft version. So this is a news post, but you could also create new SharePoint Online sites, and then you have all the base and you can start working on it and optimize this page. So this was created within minutes, and it's so easy to create new SharePoint pages and news pages with this Copilot feature. Then last but not least, a PDF update. This is for OneDrive Web and also for document libraries where PDFs are stored. You can open this PDF and you will get this new Protect button. If you click on this Protect button, you can specify a password for protection and also apply permissions, like if it's possible to print this document or to change the document or whatever. Then this document, this PDF will be saved as another PDF. And if you need to send it outside of your company, you don't use or you don't share it externally, you send it outside or you have the process to send it outside, then you can do it at least protected if needed. One for Loop. If it's enabled in your environment and you have the Loop app, or if you're using Loop web app, then now you got the personal workspaces. By default, Loop workspaces are shared within the tenant. So everyone or you can grant access to anyone inside the tenant to this workspace. With the personal workspace, it's your own workspace, and it also behaves like this. So you can work and you have your own canvases and Loop pages in there. Several changes coming to or already rolled out to new Outlook. First of all, copy attendee responses. This is quite a requested feature. That's why I present it here. If you send out an invitation to participants and you need to work on the attendees, perhaps you would like to have a list of all attendees who didn't reply yet or who declined it, just go into the invitation, click on three-dot menu in tracking, copy attendee names or copy all tracking information, paste it somewhere else, and continue working on that information without doing it manually anymore. So it's easier to share or document the meeting attendance as well. Then for the new Outlook will get the option to automatically dismiss reminders for past events. Let's say you're coming back from a vacation, start the Outlook, and then you get a ton of reminders, 50, 100 reminders, everything for past events. So with this new option, you can tell Outlook to dismiss automatically all past events. It's called the option automatic dismiss reminders for past events. So your reminder window will be, the calendar itself will be clean, and this helps you to stay focused on the upcoming task instead of seeing what you perhaps missed or you didn't dismiss the reminders for. Then there will be folder updates. You can now add shared mailboxes to the favorite list. Finally, you don't have to scroll down to the shared mailboxes anymore. You just add it to the favorite list. So you can work in, and it's easier to switch then between accounts. There will be another big change regarding shared mailboxes, but this will be rolled out in the next month, and you will see it in the second half, where shared mailboxes will be on the same level as the account list, but that's not rolled out yet. Then you can also now reorder folders in new Outlook like you could do in Outlook Classic, and also Outlook app will then inherit this reordered folder list. So it doesn't have to be from A to Z. You can have your custom folder order, which makes it easier for you to navigate around if you have your most important folders on top of your mailbox. Then to visualize folder differentiation, and you see your most important folders also in different colors, so it's easier to switch around or find the folders by color because you have so much information on the screen. Then you can now change or assign a folder color. Just click on the folder, then change color, and on the three-dot menu, change folder color and add it to there. And even if you add this folder to the favorite section, the color will be shown also within the favorites. So so you can access important categories, and it will reduce the time spent for searching your important folders. Then if you're working with delegates, delegates can access your calendar, you can access your inbox, and now you can also grant permission for delegates to manage your categories if there's the need to. So that's quite a big new. I think, as far as I know, this is not even possible in Outlook Classic. It's only in new Outlook available. Going to Outlook app means the application, the Outlook installation of inside smartphones like Android or Apple iOS. First of all, you can now minimize the compose window to multitask within the Outlook app. Let's say you would like to look for possible appointments. You want to switch to the calendar while writing an email. Till now, you had to click on the cross icon, then it will be saved into draft. You go to the calendar, you think of it, okay, we have next week on Wednesday, there is time. You go back to the draft folders and then continue writing. Now you have the minimize button. It will be shown here as minimized window. You switch to calendar, watch out for possible or free appointment times, and then you can get these drafts back from one button and continue writing these emails. So this supports multitasking, and so to reference other messages or calendar events. Then there is an email auto advance enhancement. If you're working through your emails from your mobile phone, till now you had the option after deleting an email to go back to the inbox or move to the next email. But if you are someone who prefers to go down from bottom to top on the message list, then you will get now the new option to open the email above. So you read the first email, the oldest email first. If you delete this email, then it will iterate to one above instead of one below, or go back to the inbox. Then you can now attach an email to another email from within Outlook. This simplifies referencing the previous conversations, like improving clarity and context in ongoing email threads. Just go to attach email and choose another email to attach to the new message. Switching to Microsoft 365 Copilot, this is only the main changes. There were so many changes, so that's the most important ones for the first half of 2025. We got many agents now in preview, perhaps you already have access to these agents because they are in public preview and not released to generally available right now. But anyway, there's a lot of talk about these agents, so it's important to know what these are about. First of all, we have to facilitate the agent. That's a meeting assistant. This is writing the meeting minutes, and it will also do time management within your meeting. It's a virtual person joining the meeting, which is or who is doing these tasks. Then we have the interpretation agent. That's for live translation of spoken language. So you're listening to me in English now, you could change it and listen to me live translated to German, and even Copilot or the interpretation agent tries to enumerate my voice. So you hear my voice, but in another language and live during the meeting. So that's quite an interesting agent. Then the project manager agent is to plan creations and status reports of planner tasks, planner plans, status reports, and task execution. You can assign a task to the project manager agent, and project manager agent will work then on this planner task. The researcher helps using multi-step research and reasoning, and for web work and data, and the analyst is based on O3 mini model for reasoning and advanced data analysis, and he can even use Python to run complex data queries. So that's these new agents which are coming or are already available in public preview. SharePoint agents were also rolled out now. So perhaps you are already using SharePoint agents, where you create an agent from inside a SharePoint document library, and this agent will only use the information stored within this folder to answer the questions. And you can also customize this SharePoint online agents. These are also available as pay as you go, so not all of you need to have a Copilot license. Then the Wave 2 spring release was just rolled out. This changed the Copilot app a lot. So we have a refreshed navigation pane, mainly it moved from the right to the left part. We have in there a new module called Notebooks, but you only have access to Notebooks if you have a Copilot license. If you don't have a license or not yet, then you will get the message in there that you need a license. Search replaces now the home module and brings Copilot search and file summarization together. That's the one on top left now. So, and then chat is the new centerpiece of this navigation part. You have a collapsible menu. You see all your agents in there, and you will be able to assign your Copilot key if you already have a Copilot key on your keyboard to this part. And then there is a new create experience for graphical design, like access to brand kits or visual creator, or create a new presentation using Copilot. And the same applies to the mobile applications. If you're still using portaloffice.com, I see many users still using all these old URLs, or office.com or Microsoft365.com, all these URLs are being redirected to m365.cloud.microsoft. This was formerly called the Office homepage. Now it's called Microsoft 365 Copilot. This was a big renaming which was done during the last month. Then Copilot in meetings is now able to analyze meeting content. So if you share content more than 10 seconds, that's just to be sure that you don't accidentally share any, let's say, confidential content. Let's say you share accidentally the salary list of your company, and you see, oh, shouldn't do that, and you stop the sharing within 10 seconds, and Copilot won't analyze this content. So Copilot has the sources within meeting. When you start the Copilot part, the Copilot pane opens, and you can ask Copilot about things which are in the transcript, but also about meeting chats. And now the third source is analyzing the content which was or is being shared. So if you're coming late into a meeting, let's say 15 minutes late, and there were already shown some slides, then you could ask Copilot, please summarize the slides till now, and you will get the summarization about this. So that's quite a big new feature. Within OneDrive Web, you can now ask Copilot questions about images, like explain the content of images or extracting even content from, if there is text within an image, you can extract it as text to further continue work on this. That's useful for documentation, training, or even for visual audits. Then for the Copilot mobile app, there is the Office app was renamed to Copilot app as well, and you will be able now to also create images from Copilot within the mobile app. So if you are fancy to create cat images on the go, just use the Copilot app from your mobile application or from your mobile. Then we have several changes regarding prompts. If you have found or if you have written a nice prompt which worked well for you and you would like to share it with other people within the tent, yes, you could copy paste it and send it by chat, but now you can also share it using a link. So you share the link to your coworker, and when they click the link, then the prompt will be fired in their user contacts. So it's easier to share good prompts. You can also save your prompts for later use, and you can also schedule your prompts now. So let's say your first task in the morning, you go to Copilot and say, hey, summarize all my meetings of today. And now you don't have to do this anymore manually. You can schedule it for 7 a.m. in the morning, and you already get the result when coming into the office. Then we also have the prompt gallery app. This is integrated in many places now where you see prompt typing input boxes. You also see the prompt gallery app, which will start the prompt gallery app. And this in here, you can also search for the prompt gallery app in Teams as application, or in Teams, Outlook, and the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. It's available there. And you have Microsoft prompts. You can further navigate down by app, task, or job type, and then you see some prompt examples. So if you are unsure or you don't have an idea about what prompt, how do I write the prompt or whatever, then go in the prompt app and you will find many examples. You also can you find your saved prompts in here again using your prompts or team prompts. And the next step will be that your organization can share prompts centrally, and you will find it in here as well soon. If you would like to summarize a web page and you're using Edge browser and you have the Copilot button on the top, in the top right corner in your Edge browser, click in there and use the page summarization feature to summarize a web content directly in the browser. And so it's easier for research, or it's just faster than reading the page itself, or at least you can find out if it's worth reading the full page. This also applies to Edge on your mobile phone if you're browsing the web using Edge in iOS or Android. Then we have several changes regarding BizChat on Context IQ. This about what am I talking about? BizChat is the work tab inside Copilot, and Context IQ is the let's say the filter menu inside Copilot. This improves now the relevance of Copilot responses using these filters, allowing you to specify data sources, and this enhances accuracy. Till now, if you don't use any filters in the work tab, then Copilot will just use all work tab, which you can access for yourself. So if you would like to have it more specific, you use these IQ filters. First of all, you have the SharePoint sites filter. When writing a prompt, you click on the SharePoint sites filter and choose the sites, let's say Contoso Sales, and then Copilot would only use files stored within Contoso Sales sites as input to answer your or to work on your prompt and answer your questions. Same for SharePoint Online and OneDrive for business folders instead of SharePoint sites. So if you have somewhere all top up-to-date manuals or are stored and you would like to ask questions regarding these manuals, just navigate to this folder, mark the folder or even only some documents within this folder, and then ask the questions, and Copilot will only use these documents as a source, as grounded source to answer your prompt. Then we have an improved search performance, yes, okay, and then you can also add direct data sources if it's not already stored within somewhere in Microsoft 365, and you have it, let's say, in your downloads folder because you just downloaded a PDF file from a web page. You would like to summarize this PDF file, just go on upload from device, add it to this chat, and then ask the question about the just uploaded file. And then this chat experience will be or was already made better. You will get all these this prompt auto suggestion feature, your prompt cards in there. You should already see these. And then we have the auto suggestion feature here. When you're writing a prompt, WHA for what, then Copilot will show you recommended prompts, but it will also show you your prompt history. So you will find your already used prompts in here again. So if you used what are key points of this file, just click on it, select the file, and you're good to go. No need to type the full prompt again. So that's it for this ChangeCockpit Enduser Essentials for the first half of 2025. Thank you very much for watching. I hope next version will be recorded at the end of this year for the second half of 2025. Till then, and goodbye.